In this video, I will be configuring Run and RunOnce using group policy for client computers. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and that's because there are a few bits of information here that I will be using for this video, and I will leave the URL in the description down below. And one very important note is that in this video, I will be covering Run and RunOnce, that is part of the user settings, and I will be covering a Run that is part of the computer settings. But I will not be covering RunOnce because RunOnce on the computer side only works for administrator accounts and it's executed with administrative privileges. And everything that I will be covering in this video will be executed with user privileges. That means that we cannot perform any system changes on the computers. And first I will be configuring Run on the user side, and this will allow us to execute programs or scripts for the users every time they sign into the computer. And in this example, I will be executing cmd.exe every time the user signs into the computer. And for this, I will go to my VMware workstation where I have my Windows Server environment, and to create group policy, I will go to Tools, then Group Policy Management. I will right-click on Group Policy Objects and click on New. I will name the policy HKCU and then Run. Then I will click OK. I will expand Group Policy Objects, select the policy that I created, then I will right-click on it and click on Edit. Here we want to go to User Configuration, Preferences, Windows Settings, and then click on Registry. Then I will right-click in the window here, go to New, and select Registry item. And now we need to fill in the information in this window. For the action, we can leave it at Update. For the Hive, we need to select HK Current User. Now for the key path, I will go to my GitHub page and select this value right here, so that I don't make any mistakes typing in the value. I will insert the value in here. As you can see, this is the registrar location for the Run registry. Now for the value name, it doesn't really matter. In this case, I will just enter run dash and then cmd. Now for value type, we need to leave it at regcz, and for value data, we need to specify what we want to run. So we can provide a path, or in this case, I will just enter cmd.exe. So I will insert the value in here, then I will click on apply and OK. And that's basically it for this policy. I will close this window. Now we need to apply this policy to an organization unit that is holding our users. And for that, I will just click on the policy and then drag and drop it on the organization unit where I want to apply the settings. In this case, I will apply on my users organization unit. Now we can also go to details, and for GPO status, we can select computer configuration settings disabled because this policy currently has only user settings in it. And now to test this policy, I will go to one of my client machines that I have in here, and I will sign in with one of my accounts that is in that organization unit where we applied the group policy. So I will sign into my John Doe account, I will enter the password and press enter. And as you can see, after signing in and waiting a bit, the CMD window was executed. And this will happen every time this user signs into the computer. So if I sign out once again, and then sign back in, and wait a bit, you can see that cmd.exe was executed once again. And now to create the second policy, I will once again go to my server, right-click on Group Policy Object, select New. This time I will name the policy HKCU RunOnce. Then click OK. I will select the policy that I created, right-click on it and select Edit. Once again, we need to go to User Configuration, Preferences, Windows Settings, and then Registry. I will right-click in the window here, go to New and Registry item. Once again, the action needs to be Update, Hive, Current User, and then for the key path, I will just go back to the GitHub page, copy this value. As you can see, this time this is the location for RunOnce. Once again, we can name the value name whatever we like. In this case, I will be executing a notepad, so I will name it run notepad. Go back to my GitHub page, and this time I'm providing the full path to the program. So c-windows notepad.exe. So I will copy this location, insert the location in here, and we need to do one more thing. And now, because we're configuring run once, that means that we want to execute Notepad only for a single time. And after execution, the registry for executing Notepad will be deleted. And we don't want the group policy to create that value again, because this will behave the same way as run does. And to prevent group policy from recreating this registry entry after Notepad is executed, we need to go to Common, and here we need to select Apply Once and Do Not Reapply. And after selecting this, after applying this policy, the user will sign into the computer, the notepad will be executed, Windows will remove the registry entry from registry, and then the group policy will not recreate the setting. So now we can click apply, OK, and we can close this window. Once again, we need to assign this policy to an organization unit that is holding the users where we want to apply the settings. So once again, I will click and hold and then drag and drop it on the organization unit. I will be using the same organization unit, and once again, we can go to details, and for GPO status, we can select computer configuration settings disabled, because this policy once again only has user settings in it. And once again, to demonstrate this setting, I will go to my client computer. I will sign out from this computer, and then I will just sign back in. And once again, we need to wait for a few seconds. And as you can see, this time we have cmd.exe that comes from the run registry, and also the notepad that comes from run once. But if I close notepad and sign out from this computer, and then sign back in, and as you can see, this time only cmd.exe is executed, because whatever settings we have for run will be executed every time the user signs in, and whatever settings we have in run once, we want to execute only a single time when the user signs into the computer after the registry entry is created. And this can be useful in different cases. And for the last example, I will be configuring run, but this time this will be a computer setting. That means that we can target computers instead of the users. So for the last time, I will go to my VMware workstation and then to my server. I will right click on group policy objects, select new. This time I will name the policy HKLM and then run. I will click OK. I will select the policy that I created, and then I will right click on it, select edit. And this time we need to go to computer configuration, preferences, Windows settings, and then click on registry. Then right click in the window here, go to new and select registry item. And now in here, everything needs to basically be the same as in the first example where I was configuring run for the user. The only difference will be the hive. So in this case, we need to select HK local machine. Now, once again, for the key path, I will just copy the value from the GitHub page. This is, as you can see, the same location as in here. Insert the value here and then provide the value name. In this case, I will be using a command that will pop up a message for the user, so I will name it run underscore msg, and then go back to the GitHub page, and here is the command that I will be using. This message command allows us to show a message for the user. Now I will select this command, copy it, and then insert the value in here. And that's basically it. Once again, we can click apply and OK, and we can close this window. This time we need to assign this policy to an organization unit that is holding our computers, not users. So I will be using this organization unit right here called computers, and it is holding all of my computers in my domain. And in your environment, it will be a different organization unit. This is my testing environment. So to assign the policy, once again, I will click and hold and drag and drop it on the organization unit. And then once again, I will make sure that the policy is selected, go to details, and this time for GPO status, I will just select user configuration settings disabled, because in this case, we have only computer settings in it. And that's basically it. Now to test this policy, I will go back to my client machine. And this time, because we configured computer settings, we need to run a GP update. So I will just type GP update in the command line that I have here opened. Press enter, wait a bit. And as you can see, the policy was updated. So if I sign out and then sign back in, you can see that now cmd.exe was executed from the user settings. And also we have this message that comes from the computer settings. And this message right here, because this is the run registry entry, will be executed every time the user signs into this computer. So basically the same as this CMD window. And that's basically it for this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and see you in the next one.